Welcome back, everybody, to another installment of my 0 to 100 building a commander deck from scratch. And today we're going to be building Kona Rescue Beastie. This is a 4-mana green 4/3 that has survival. At the beginning of your second main phase, if Kona Rescue Beastie is tapped, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Now this is a very cool effect, very interesting effect, and you'll see how I'm going to build it in just a moment. But before that, I'd like to remind everybody that I'm at 1,691 subscribers. I'd love to reach 2,000 in short order. I don't have a time frame. I'm kind of just playing it by ear at this point. But yeah, 2,000 would be nice to get. I'm also very happy that the Eluge video had a lot of views on it. So thanks everybody for watching that. So getting back to Kona Rescue Beastie. So here's what we're going to do. This is going to be a camel mana curve. So kind of like a bimodal curve, I guess, if that's the correct terminology. Here's how it's going to look. Let's get the brush here. Here we go. Here is the mana curve. 1 and 2, dip, and then high cost. This is going to be the curve of the deck. What I want to do is ramp into Kona. Okay, here we go. Right here. That's Kona. And then profit. Right here. That's how the deck wins. Ramp. There we go. That's my that's my paint drawing for you. So here we go. Going back to the deck, let's start. We're gonna build the mana base first, and I'm thinking roughly about 40 lands because this deck is gonna have a very high mana curve. So 40 lands, including MDFCs, is gonna be on the deck list. Starting with Mossward Bridge, and I forgot in the previous video I can just drag and drop cards into the deck list, so I'm gonna do that here. That's gonna save quite a bit of time. So Balagad Recovery, the best MDFC in green. Mosswort Bridge, Castle Garenbrig ramps up. Tranquil Thicket I actually like for cycling. I know people are kind of off and on those, but I really like that one. Shire, Colony Ambush, MDFC, really good. Turn Timber Symbiosis, MDFC, also affordable. Shifting Woodland, not quite for this deck. This deck is not going to be a heavy graveyard deck, so I'm going to avoid some of those cards. Scrolling down, MDFC, Disciple of Freyalise. O'Hare Chasm is not really an MDFC, but it's going to go in the deck anyway just because it's strong. And turn 5, I might need to play it at some point. Tangled Florahedron, Ramp, and MDFC. Bridgework Battle, MDFC / fight card. Scrolling down. We're getting close to the end here on the mono green lands. Yep, here we go. So now we're going to add Forest. We're not going to do the Field of the Dead thing, so don't worry about that. I know a lot of people like to put Field of the Dead in their deck. Let's just start with like 18 here and go from there. All right, closing that tab. Going to colorless lands. Here we go. This is going to be hopefully a quicker deck than the previous one, which is like 25 odd minutes. So I'm going to skip some of these cards here, especially the fetch lands. It's not really a landfall deck. Temple of the False God is going in the deck. It's a green deck. It's ramping. This is the kind of deck that wants it. Yavimaya Cradle of Growth. Also, the budget of the deck, it's going to be higher than the previous deck. It'll be over $200. It might be quite a bit over, so we'll see. Luckily, though, with this deck, you can remove a lot of the pricey cards in favor of more budget cards, and it's no problem. It's not a big deal. All right, yeah, War Room I like. I know it's a little controversial. Scrolling down. Here we go. Scavenger Grounds. Love this card. Put it in almost every deck, as well as Abstergo Entertainment, which I will just type in. Demolition Field, I like having just one of those as something to kill. Bonder's Enclave, a lot of big creatures in this deck. We're going to be able to activate it. The Commander's also a big creature. Abstergo Entertainment, I might just type that one in because it's it's going to take a while. Guildless Commons, with the MDFCs, I actually like this. I think this is a decent card with all of the lands that I want to bounce back to hand here. So yeah, let's keep going. What do we got? There's a lot of cards that could be quite strong. I think Nykthos I might have passed. I might just type that one in. But yeah, keep going. Roadside Reliquary. This is a maybe. Depends on the final version of the deck. I think I will have a decent amount of enchantments in here, but I do want to be able to hit my green sources early, so I don't want to have way too many colorless sources. Let's just type it in. Oh, type that wrong. Here we go. Abstergo Entertainment. Drag that in. And we'll start with that. We'll start with those for the colorless lands. We're at 29. We can bump that up momentarily. So let's just do this, just to simplify, just so I don't forget. And this puts us at 35, 36, 37, 38. We'll do 39 to start. Actually, no, it's going to be less because of the MDFC. So 1, 2, 3, or no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 MDFCs plus 37, 36, 35. We're going to start here. This is going to be the mana base to start. Soul Ring is in, obviously. Arcane Signet, I do think is good, even in green decks. I will temporarily skip it. We'll see how it goes. Rampant Growth, the land fixers are very good. This is green's biggest strength, is the land ramp. 1 mana creatures are also quite good in this deck. Wayfarer's Bauble, I think, is good, but I don't know 100% if we'll need it. Landware Elves, Temple's already in there. Sakura Tribelder. For some reason, I keep forgetting Sakura Tribelder when I'm building ramp. Elvish Mystic, Finthorn Elves, Wild Growth. Wild Growth people forget about because it's not a mana dork, but it's probably better than a mana dork in most cases. Sword of the Animist, maybe. I'm not so sure we entirely need it here. Delighted Halfling, 1-drop ramp, also very good. Exploration is good in landfall decks. I'm not 100% sure if we need it. Ornithopter Paradise is also good, but we have green ramp. Here we go. Utopia Sprawl. This is another one that's huge. 1 mana ramp, just super big. Arbor Elf is good. We might end up cutting it to make room here. Sanctum Weaver, Incubation Druid, both are good. Better in enchantment decks for those. Fertile Ground is also very good. It's also a permanent. Gyre Sage is good in the late game. Here we go. Springleaf Drum. This seems very good because you can tap Koma with Springleaf Drum to make mana and have his survival ability trigger. So that's good. Gilded Goose is okay. We'll see about that. Let's just keep going here. Elysian Caryatid I actually like because this makes 2 mana in the mid game. So going to the next page here. There's 300 cards on this one. I'm going to go a little bit quick and skip some of them here. You could add more of the 1-cost stuff like Boreal Druid, depending on how you want the final deck list to look. Here we go. Fanatic of Ronus. Now, I think actually I had a whole page of the creatures that make mana. So let's just go to this. Twitching Doll is really good. This is the new set, Duskmourn. It's a early game mana dork, late game make a lot of tokens. Very strong card. Trail Tracker Scout actually is even better, I think, because you can expend 8 and return permanents from your graveyard to your hand. Very strong card. Some of these other ones are good too. Like Tender Wild Guide is good. I don't know that I'm going to play it because it's more of like a token enabler, and if you care a lot about that, then it's good. Fanatic of Ronus is super good in this deck. Probably, arguably the best mana dork in the deck. Nightshade Dryad is also good, but it's probably not as good as the other few here. Scrolling down, Intrepid Paleontologist. I'm curious on if this one is good. It helps you cast dinosaurs from stuff that you exile. So you can exile your own dinosaur and cast it. And so, yeah, maybe. Bramble Familiar is decent. Late game, you can do stuff with it. But I think we will stop there for the moment, and we can always go back to that. So I sorted these by the date spoiled, because a lot of the new mana dorks are better than a lot of the old mana dorks. And actually, let's just try this. Let's sort by EDH rec rank just to check this here. So I am indirectly using EDH rec, but I'm not like using if that makes sense. Here we go. So close that extra tab I don't need. Here we go. So yeah, Lotus Cobra could be good here as well. It's not strictly a landfall deck, so for now I'm going to put that on the back burner. Okay, going into card draw. The card draw section, we're going to put a lot of the stuff in here. Where are we at? We're at 65 already. Holy moly. Beast Whisperer, Garruk's Uprising, really good. Sylvan Library is good. What's the price on this right now? It's a little pricey at the moment. I'm going to put in a bunch of pricey cards as it is. Great Henge. So this one, I will put it in this version of the deck. You don't need Great Henge, or you could proxy it. It's a pricey card. It's, what, like 50 bucks? Yeah, over 50, 60 bucks. It's a lot of money. Guardian Project, really good. Toski. This is a good card. It's better in decks that kind of go wide with like evasive creatures, like the blue-green guy that lets you draw cards. So yeah, maybe we'll think about that. Tribute to the World Tree, very good. Elemental Bond, very good as well. Man, the drag and drop is so convenient. I can't believe I didn't do that in the previous video. Or in Frostfang, this is similar to Toski. Selvala, Heart of the Wild. This is good because it draws and ramps. It's a little pricey. I think the price on it, that's not that bad. It's like $5. But if you add it all up, if each card in your deck is $5, that's a $500 deck. So I understand that this is going to be less of a budget deck than the previous one. But again, you can swap out a lot of these cards for other versions. Zendikar Resurgent, I think, is also good. It's ramp and draw. I like that. Soul of the Harvest, draw, really good. Up the Beanstalk is going to be good here because we're going to end up casting a lot of fatties. This is a fatty dot deck. Cultivator Colossus, what's the price on this? I didn't do the USD thing, 17-ish. Okay, so this one is interesting because it's another lands matter type of card, and you can like really churn through your deck with it. I'm going to leave it here and just remember to go back to that. Garrick's Pack Leader. This one's kind of old. It's kind of mid, but we'll put it in for now. We just want a lot of card draw because this deck is going to want to be able to trigger Kona every turn, every trip around the table, and we're gonna want to be able to do that. So Regal Behemoth, Monarch, doubles your lands. See, this is the tricky part. We're already at 75 cards, so we're getting up there. We're getting up there. We already have this one. Regal Force I really like. This is you don't often get to play Regal Force in a lot of decks, so it's more interesting here. All right, some more card draw, more card draw. I think we might pass on to the next category. Well, this is a fatty. So Vaultborn Tyrant is huge. If one of the first cards you should get for this deck is Vaultborn Tyrant, because it draws you cards, gains you life, and replaces itself when it dies. So it's a crazy card. You cheat it into play early, and you just go off. It's $25 right now, or $30, or yeah, it's a bunch of money. I'm gonna put it in for now. You can replace it, obviously. The price of this deck is probably gonna be like 500 or so. So this is gonna be a little bit of a pricey deck. I understand that the budget decks do well, but Outcaster Trailblazer is interesting. It's a relatively cheap card that it's kind of like another Garrick's Uprising for greater. This does work with the commander as well. I'm going to put it in for now. I just really want a lot of card draw. I don't think I added enough card draw to the previous mono blue Eluge deck, actually. Not thinking back on that video. I think that deck would have wanted more card draw to be able to really churn through. I tend to underestimate how much I need in a lot of places. Okay, so let's go on to the next part here. Did I actually close that one? Oh no, not this one. That's a different page. I actually looked at the Kona EDH rec with 17 decks to the name here, so that was it was not super helpful. That's part of why I'm doing this, because it's before the deck is really solidified on EDH rec, and so I kind of like quickly skimmed through, and I'm like, I already had a lot of those cards in mind in the first place. So here we go, going to Beast Within. Beast Within is just a classic in green decks. I think it's good to just have it. It's not like the most efficient card ever, but I think it's quite strong. Kenrith's Transformation is interesting, maybe. Kolga the Titan Ape, I like this one. It fights and it kills artifacts and enchantments. Ugin the Spirit Dragon, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, because you want to be able to use it to minus X, and you're going to end up killing your Kona for that. So let's put in Portal to Phyrexia. This is another expensive card. I believe this is $20 to $30, somewhere in that ballpark. A lot of money. Terastodon I like. Another removal. The fatties here are... I didn't exclude the cast... Oh, this is removal. This is more removal. Okay. It's removal plus fatties. I'm going to add in some of each. So It That Betrays is interesting because it has Annihilator too. I'm not 100% sure if it's super great in this deck. I think it's good. You're cheating a lot of mana. You're cheating, 8 mana when you get it in with Kona. Minimum 8 mana. So I think that's quite strong. Apex Altosaurus removal and just a huge card that you can cheat in. Song of the Dryads, really good. A little bit of a color pie bend-ish type of card. So Archdruid's Charm is good. Oh man. Yeah, this could be good. What's the price on it? It's a little bit pricey. Yeah, about $8-9. Silverback Elder, whenever you cast a creature spell, do a thing. Yeah, this is pretty good actually. We're gonna put it in as a 5-drop. I know I don't want too many 5-drops, but we're gonna start with that for the moment. I know Druid of Purification is very good. I don't think we're gonna play that because we have other cards that do that effect in the form of a giant creature. So now let's go to the vehicles section. Vehicles enable Kona to tap for the survival ability. And so Smuggler's Copter is really good because it's 2 mana. You can get it in before Kona enters the battlefield, which I like. Sky Sovereign is good because it's removal, but it's 5 mana, so it's a little bit awkward. What you could do with it is you can cast it on 5 and then just crew it with Kona, and it's just crewed, and that's pretty good. So for now, I'm going to put it in. We are going to end up taking some of the stuff out. Nautiloid Ship is good for hitting graveyards. If you have a graveyard meta, put this in the deck. I think I'm not going to put it in for now. Cultivator's Caravan is interesting. It's ramp, and then you can crew it. I think, what was it? Springleaf Drum, I think, is better than Cultivator's Caravan in this instance. So for now, I'm going to leave that one out. And you're only getting a +1 attack anyway, so not super exciting. Thunderhawk Gunship is really good, but I think this costs some money here. $12, yeah, it's a little bit of money. I mean, it's 6 mana, 6/6 flying. You get two 2/2 tokens, and you get your stuff flying. This is very strong. Like if you can if you can get a copy, if you already bought the Warhammer decks, chuck it in there. I like Reaver Titan. It's crew 4 exactly. You get a 10/10, deal 5 to every opponent, protection from 3 or less. That's super strong. Unlicensed Hearse, again, if you have a heavy graveyard meta, put this in there. I'm going to temporarily not have it in there. But yeah, if you have people reanimating and going crazy, then go for that. Here we go. Scrolling down. This is another expensive one. Rolling Ham Sphere. This is kind of funny. It's like the Mirror Battle Sphere a little bit. You get 3 hamster tokens and deal X damage to any target, crew 3. It does get bigger. I'll put it in for now. I might take it out. And then the rest of these are kind of a little bit mid, like Sky Skiff. Dodgy Jalape's okay. There's the new one, Head Shredder. This you might want to try out. Let me know in the comments if you guys have had success with it. This is more of like a graveyard style card. Like if you really care about your graveyard, then Head Shredder is good. It can help you ramp, and it's a 5/5, so it's decent. But yeah, we're gonna move on from the vehicles and go into the. This is just big stuff. Big stuff coming into play. Avenger of Zendikar, classic. We're at 91 cards. So here's the thing. Crater Hoof Behemoth. I actually do not want to add Crater Hoof Behemoth to this deck. I know there's mana dorks, and I know you can just cast it and you're fine. But my logic is that if you cheat it in with Kona, you're not getting the effect, right? Because it's post-combat. Plus, it's a lot of money right now. It's $30 plus, 30, whatever, 25 if you get cheap. Galta is just like a big fatty. I think this is good. This is kind of an aggro deck, so we'll put it in. Galta's actually a couple of bucks, few bucks. Old Gnawbone is super good. This one costs money, though. This is, like, as we can see, this is like $35. Another pricey card. Nyx Bloom Ancient, same deal. This triples your mana. It's like 30, 40 bucks. Oh, my God. Yeah, this is going to be a crazy deck. Kodama the East Tree. This is actually a very good card in this deck, I think, because you activate Kona with its ability, and if you have another card in hand, you can put it in with Kodama. So you're getting a double. You're essentially doubling what you get with Kona with Kodama of the East Tree. And it works with bounce lands with certain combos. I think you kind of want other colors as well. So there's that. I think Cold Glow is already in there. So Pandrel is good. It doubles your power toughness. What's the price on this? But it's a little pricey. I mean, I've already put in like a $50 card already. So Pandrel, we'll think about that. Let me know if you guys have had success with Zapandrel. I think it's good for this type of deck, but like you're not going to sacrifice Kona and other creatures to make it indestructible. And I think it's strong, but we'll see. Apex Devastator, this is a cast trigger. Cascade is not as good in this deck, so temporarily I will lay off of that. Hornet Queen is good, and it's super cheap, relatively. You can get it for like 10, 20 cents, depending on the edition. I think the new edition is a little more because it's not out yet. Fallout is a little more. Yeah, but anyway, Hornet Queen's good. You get a bunch of bodies, and they all have flying and death touch. Like, that's just super strong. Galta, Stampede Tyrant. This is very strong in the deck. This basically is like a Galta deck with a different commander, if you think about it. Oh, page is loading. I might have to reload. Galta, Stampede Tyrant, 12/12, and it's 12 bucks. All right, that's flavorful. So here we go. Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger. This card I thought about adding into the first version 1.0 of the deck, but my recommendation to people is to not put this into the first version of your decks, like a very salty, like high salt score card into the first version, because it is going to it's going to discourage your opponents from wanting to play against you again. But later on, if your play group is okay with it, throw it in the deck, because it's extremely strong in this deck. It ramps you, it slows down other people. Very strong card. Verdant Sun's Avatar I like because it catches you up. You gain a bunch of life. Your deck is going to have a bunch of fatties. You might be taking aggro. So I like Verdant Sun's Avatar, even in a deck that doesn't care that much about life gain. Skullspore Nexus is really good, but I don't know. You don't have like an Aristocrats theme, so you can cheat it in, which is strong. And it's good against like wraths. So if somebody wraths you, you get like a giant token coming in. You can double power toughness. Or 97 cards already. How many categories do we have left? Jeez. Okay, well, we're going to keep going. Mana Reflection is very good, although we have other cards like the Z one, Zendikar Resurgent. I'd rather have that than Mana Reflection in this particular case, because it also has card draw. Sandworm Convergence. Everybody rags on this card, but in a budget version of the deck, you can swap out one of the pricey cards for Sandworm Convergence, and I think it's pretty good. I mean, you're only getting a 5/5. If you care more about tokens, it's good. So there's that. Uvold Hydra is really good because you can get out like particular lands. If you're playing stuff like Ancient Tomb, which is very pricey, you can do that. I think I have a page loaded up of the extremely expensive cards. Oh no, that was on my other browser, but I'll show you those in a moment here. Woodfall Primus I really like. This is a super strong card. Remove stuff. Archetype of Endurance gives you protection. I like the idea of that. You're going to want that. People are going to be targeting you. Kamal, Heart of Krosa. Again, this is another overrun effect, but this one I actually like better than Craterhoof in this deck. I know Craterhoof is a much stronger card, but Kamal is repeatable. So if you're able to protect your board and keep it, then you can go from there. So Titan of Industry, this is Reach, Trample 7/7, ETB, choose 2. Oh yeah, this is pretty good. We're gonna do that for now. World Spine Worm. This is 11 mana. I like World Spine Worm. Like, how often do you get to play this? Now, this is better in like a deck that can sacrifice it and recur it and stuff like that. Well, it does shuffle, but still, like, if you can cheat it in, it's crazy. So we're gonna do that. And I realize we are at 101 cards, so I'm gonna add a few more cards, and then we're going to cut down. So some more salty cards. Void Winnower Salty is very good. You might want to consider it if your playgroup's okay. In version 1.0, I'm not gonna do that. There's a bunch of Eldrazi. These are the ones without the cast triggers. So Ulamog's Dread Sire, 10 mana, 10/10 Vigilance. See, this one's interesting. I don't know 100% if it is something you want, but like it's a good card to cheat in. So we'll think about that. Now, we do want some protection cards in the list here, and we're gonna start with Heroic Intervention. I sorted these by order spoiled, but the first card you should add is Heroic Intervention, and this card keeps going up and down. It pings pongs up and down. It's $10 now. It went down a while ago to a little bit cheaper of a price, so maybe wait for that to get one. I like Collective Resistance. I know this is one of those modal cards as Escalate. You can do all 3 modes if you pay up to 4 mana. I like the idea of that. You can give something hexproof, indestructible. It's just flexible. Smuggler's Surprise is also very good in this deck. You have big creatures. Does a lot of stuff for you. But yeah, Tyvar Stand is also very good. It pumps your stuff, hexproof, indestructible. Really good. Tameo Safekeeping. This is the classic one. Everybody thinks of this card first. Guardian Augmenter, maybe. We'll see about that. That's kind of a Veil of Summer, depending on your meta. Although it's probably just good in general. Blossoming Defense is another good one. But yeah, these are just some examples of cards that protect Kona and other cards as well. So let's see here. We're going to do this. EDH rec rank, and ID equals colorless. So Swiftfoot Boots for sure is going in. Where's Lightning Greaves on? Oh, Lightning Greaves is Shroud. That's right. Swiftfoot Boots 100% is in there, and where is the other one? There's the 1 mana Lava Spur Boots. We're gonna do this. Lightning Greaves, here we go. And we're just gonna type Lava Spur. So we're sitting at 109 cards. In the previous video, I managed to make it to 100 cards exactly, so that might have been part of the success there. Now the graveyard cards, getting stuff from your graveyard is strong. I don't know how much of this you're going to want in your deck. Eternal Witness is like the big one. That's kind of the most popular one. There's also the 6 mana one, Green Warden and Marasa. I like because it's a big fatty, and you can use it late game and get 2 cards and stuff. So there's that. But for now, we're gonna pass over that. Wolful Haven. Oh, I think I missed that one. That one I also want in here. So this is a good lesson for what cards to cut when you have over 100 cards. And we're gonna go to here we go. Oh, here's more like tap abilities, because you want to be able to tap Kona without having to attack with it, which is nice. So here we go. These are so Aladmari Corvic Doll. This one lets you cast creatures from the top and look at the top, and you can tap 2 untapped creatures. So you can use this plus a Mana Dork plus Kona to get to cheat a creature into play from the hand or battlefield, I think. So this is a reasonable card to think about. What's the price on it here? Price is $6. This deck. Now this is over 100 cards. 380. That's actually not that bad. 389. I thought it would be a lot higher. I built like a practice version just in 2 seconds before this video, and it was like $700. And I'm like, oh, I should probably cut some of the Ancient Tomb and Boseiju type cards because they really ratchet up the price. But yeah, if you have Boseiju, Ancient Tomb, what is it? It's the Lotus. So USD greater than 20. And CID G. Oh, is booster. This is a helpful one here. Is booster not masterpiece? Okay, so yeah, if you have Mana Crypt, if you have Ancient Tomb, Boseiju Who Shelters, Jeweled Lotus, the first card you should add is Jeweled Lotus if you have the money or you want to proxy. Jeweled Lotus is extremely strong. You can get Kona in play on turn 1 with this card. So, like, this is insane. Like, if you get this, you know, awesome. The One Ring is also good in every deck. Nykthos is good. I could probably just add it in here as well. But, you know what? Let's do it. Stack's already a bunch of money. How much is this right now? Oh, my God. It's like 35, 40. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. There was also, like, Blightsteel Colossus. Yeah, Blightsteel. This is another kind of, like, pseudo-salt card because it has Infect. People will get salty about that. So, again, if in version 2.0, you can add Blightsteel Colossus. But, yeah, version 1.0, we'll skip it. Chroma's Memorial is interesting. I think it's good. I don't know how good, because it gives everything haste and a whole bunch of other abilities, and it's just super strong. But it's like $35, so I don't know. I've already added a bunch of super pricey stuff in here. Let's just start cutting down here momentarily. I looked up the Convoke cards as well. I thought about Traverse the Outlands. This is something to think about. Convoke cards, there's not really a lot that I like. There's the Great Worm, which is strong, but it's just a big creature. Kind of better in fling style decks if you're flinging. Court of Calling is good if you don't mind tutoring. I don't know. Court of Calling is probably the one that I would pick. The rest of these are not super exciting. But yeah, just consider if they print more Convoke cards in the future, they could be good in Kona Rescue Beastie. So let's now expand to full screen and take a look at this. As you can see, I have a little bit of a camel mana curve here. We got the 2 humps, the bimodal, a lot of stuff at 7. It's not quite a, it's not quite like a, it's kind of like the reverse camel actually. So I have the larger one at the low end. Let's see. So I think I need to start removing some of, maybe a little bit of the ramp. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1-drop elves. Probably Arbor Elf can go. It's good, but if I don't have a lot of forests, we'll just do that. Going to the rest of them, we have a lot of 2-drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2-drop ramp creatures. Yeah, I will end up cutting some of the ramp, I think. There's just so much. Probably Tangled Florahedron is the most mediocre. It doesn't offer any other abilities. It is an MDFC, but it's kind of the most mid of the 2-drop creatures, so we'll cut that. We have to cut another 10 cards. Holy moly. Here we go. So Rolling Hamsphere. Let's put this in the maybe board. It's a good card, but, you know, not the strongest card I've ever seen. So we have 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. We actually have 42 lands if you think about it. I can cut another land or 2. Cut a couple of forests. There's the other bounce land. I forget the name of it, but it's, if you really wanted it, you could put that in here because it makes 2. This is just in there for now. So 34 plus, yeah, 6 or so. Yeah, there's 6 of those. That's 40. Let's see. Plus a ton of ramp here. 22 forests. We're at 107. 7 cuts to make. A few vehicles in the list. Not that many. Protection spells. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 protection spells. That's a decent spot to be. Cards that hit creatures. We have a couple of those spells that do that. Beast Within is classic. Song of the Dryads. Let's see. What we could do actually is lower the price of the deck. So here's what I'm going to do. Great Henge is going to go on the maybe board. Just to make this simple. Portal to Phyrexia is very strong. I'm like so tempted to have that in there. I really like that card. But Great Henge is one of the first cards you should add for sure. Yavimaya Cradle of Growth is good because like it helps. Actually, this plus Temple of the False God is good. It helps your temple draws. It's a little bit pricey, but some of the super pricey stuff, I think Great Henge was the biggest one, and then followed by Portal to Phyrexia. The rest of these aren't super duper expensive. They do add up though over time, like $5, that adds up. Here we go. The Vaultborn Tyrant. This is 25. This is so good, though. See, this is the tough part. Just cutting cards. Let's look back at the curve here. Yeah, still a lot at 2. Like, the heaviest is going to be 2, because that ramps into our commander. Old Gnawbone, that's another $35 card. You know what? Let's put this in the maybe board. This is replaceable. Old Gnawbone is good, obviously. Then there is the Enchantment Creature, Nyx Bloom Ancient. Oh man, I like this one. it's so strong. Let's see. You got to cut. 5 cards to cut. We'll cut 1 of the protection spells. We probably should not, but I am going to do it. Collective resistance, I like a lot. Oh man, you know what? Let's cut collective resistance because it costs 2 every time, and it is not as flexible as the Smuggler's Surprise, which does cost 2, but it has a bunch of other modes. So that I like a little bit more, a little itty bit more. Guardian Project, very strong. Yeah, we still have a ton of card draw in the deck, even without the Great Henge. But yeah, again, you should 100% put that in your deck if you have the card on hand. You know, Outcaster Trailblazer. We're cutting card draw here. I know this is kind of not ideal, but that card itself is a little bit mid. Ogre Chasm. It's a 5-drop. It's a 5-drop. Let's see. I mean, you know, let's cut it for now. You're gonna have to cut good cards. That's how this works for Commander. Can't have everything. Could come back in the deck. It is a strong card. That is a very, very real possibility. Gunship. This gets everything flying. It's just really good. This removal, flagship, Reaver Titan. Reaver Titan maybe. This is mostly just like a lot of damage. Let's cut it for now. I'm not 100% sure if that's the best idea, but it is an aggro card. Eladmeri. Yeah, I mean, Eladmeri's good because you can cut like all of this stuff and it works out just fine. We could also just cut the Sky Sovereign because it's a 5-drop. It's not like super worth cheating in, but it does enable the tap. That's the only consideration that I'm thinking of. I like the Lava Spur. I like the Lightning and the Swiftfoot Boots. Those are good. Gives it haste and protection on your commander, which are all very strong cards. The thing is, yeah, Sky Sovereign, it's removal. It's very solid. Good card. But for now, I'm going to put it in the maybe board. This would require testing to figure out which cards you need the most. But here we go. We're at 100 cards, $316. This is about $100 more than the previous one. But as you can see, we have the bimodal camel curve here. We're going back to this. Here's the camel curve. You got a camel. Just super, super funny. Yeah, so here we go. What do you guys think of Kona Rescue Beastie? Is this the type of deck you like to build? Do you think that, depending on your commander, this heavily is smart in commander? Are you a Timmy player like I am? I think I lean a lot more Timmy than all the other player archetypes. So this deck is right up my alley, and I really enjoy this. So yeah, again, what do you guys think of the deck build? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.